Welcome. Was just read out the verse, the creative cut. So I'll just speak on those lines. Now, this division, you could see the split of creator, creation, and creativity, or performer, performing and performance, or actor, acting, and the act, or whatever, the doer, what is done, and the act of doing, or the character characteristics and what is apparently being done as that. This is split is in the dream is the dream of duality. It's an illusion. There is no split. It's simply one. And whatever is apparently happening is happening on its own. There is no entity, God, or divine, or power, or formlessness, or whatever you want to call it, and no self, no individual entity that is doing something. Those are the dream of duality. So to say everything is happening by destiny, or God is doing it, or I am doing it, I am performing, I have free will, that's the dream of duality. That is the illusion. So there is no thing. That's why they say there's nothing being everything. But to even say that nothing being everything is, there's no nothing that is being something and then everything is appearing. It's just everything. It's formless forming. But the dream in the dream of duality, this formless forming is almost split, as if there is some formlessness that is performing and then this is happening. That's the dream of duality. That's the illusion. So when sometimes, like, everything is just one, it's one. Even to say it's one is to confine it. Even to say it's formless is to confine it. That too is sacrilege, I would say, because this cannot be confined. Formless forming, nothing, everything, nothing being everything, everything, or this this isness. How can you confine this isness which isn't? It isn't. It is. How can you confine this isness into anything? And anything that is confined is then limited. It's then this is boundless. Even to say it's boundless, you cannot confine it in any words, in any state, in anything. And you can't even say it's at the same time, because there's no time and space. That time would imply that a linear thing, and then it would be before and after. And this, again, that split is the dual dream. So normally when I'm asked sometimes that, oh, what, then there's nothing we can do, isn't it? And so should we accept it, or should we surrender, or should we just relax because, and so I'm not doing anything, isn't it? That's the dual dream. It's not that you are not doing it, so if you can't do anything because it's not in your hands, that's the dream of duality. It's like, say for instance, you see water in a desert. It's a mirage. Now, will that mirage affect the sand? No, it can't, because it's an illusion. Or seeing a dream. This is, of course, a story and the analogies I'm giving. Seeing a dream. Can the dream affect the dreamer? It can't, because it's a dream. It is an illusion. It is not there. It's simply a dream. Likewise, this I, or this entity of God or I, that's an illusion. And so how, it's not only that it can't do anything, because that won't have an effect, because just like the mirage has no effect on the sand, or the dream has no effect on the dreamer. So it's not that the I will do something. It is that that is an illusion. So when something is an illusion, it isn't there. And when it isn't there, how can it affect? How can it do something or not do something? How can it lose itself? How can it find itself? And if there is no entities, if there is, like, if God is not an entity, God or formlessness or divine or whatever, then, or a cosmic soul or what, how can it be lost? How can it be found? How can it be gained? How can you merge in it? How can you become one with it? Because there is neither this entity nor that entity. So it's all apparently one. It's formlessness forming as this. And the appearance of I is also formlessness appearing as that illusion of I. So not only is that nothing can be done, it's that there is no one to do it. There is no individual identity or a God identity or a formlessness in which this I has to merge, because this I is simply an illusion, just like a mirage. Like, or you could say, to give another analogy, the blueness of the sky. It's not that the blueness of the sky cannot affect the sky, it's that the sky is not blue. It appears blue. Likewise, the I appears. So if it is an appearance, if it's an illusion, I won't even say if it's an appearance, it's an illusion. An illusion's not there. So when there is no illusion. It's not there. It just is seeming to be there. How can that do or not do anything? How can it become one with it? How can it become absent? And how can it know of its absence? How can it know of its presence? How can it know of that this is unknown? How can it know that this is unknowable? How can this? It can't be. It cannot even know of anything, because for knowing there is a knower. How can it? Then some people say, okay, it can be experienced. But then experiencer, experience, and that which is experienced, again, that's the dream of duality. How can it be experienced? How can you taste nothing? How? Because then there would be you and there'd be nothing. Again, there's a split. That's the dream. So this cannot be known, this cannot be unknown, this cannot be absent, this cannot be present, this cannot, this is this cannot be defined, cannot be confined. It's simply this immediacy, yes, you could say, but it's this. Even to say immediacy means that it's happening, this immediacy, but there is anything that is said can be turned into a concept, but nobody's turning it into a concept. Whatever is apparently happening is simply apparently appearing to happen. Nothing is happening to, because there is no entity doing anything. That's the dream. That's the dream of duality. It's simply formless forming, nothingness dancing as what's appearing, emptiness singing this song of what is. It's absolutely ineffable. Absolutely ineffable. And yet it's spoken of. But whatever is said, it will not be able to say that. It cannot be spoken of in spite of it being spoken of. It's ineffable. Thank you.